Hi, the focus area I chose for my action research project was to increase cooperative learning by giving students more individual choices in assignments. Instead of assigning one whole class packet for everyone to complete, I would offer 3 packets, and students had the opportunity to choose which 2 they wanted to complete. They could review the packets, discuss their chosen packets at their own pace, and then they'd have 3 days to complete 2 packets. The greater effect size of cooperative learning and the overriding directive for teachers to utilize groups and peer-to-peer learning as much as possible were what motivated me to choose this as my first action focus project. The implementation began with my senior English classes. I introduced the new unit of Life After High School with a class discussion and activity to identify their dream car. I uploaded 3 packets to Google Classroom. Students had the opportunity to choose which 2. There were 2 Google Docs, and the third was a slightly longer but simpler packet in Google Slides. I hypothesized that due to its length, most students would avoid the Google Slides despite the simpler activities. Students clearly enjoyed having a choice to pick the packet activities that met their preference. They also liked completing only 2 out of 3, which meant not having to finish them all. As we moved through the unit, my hypothesis rang true. I observed that most students stayed away from completing the longer Google Slides packet, but those who bravely chose it enjoyed it a lot more than those who chose the shorter but more complicated packet. The first major adjustment that I made emerged because while students enjoyed the autonomy to complete their car packets on their own, I missed the social interaction with the class, and it turns out so did my students. How much they enjoyed the added class-wide activity really surprised me. With seniors, they had largely acceded to senioritis, so it was fulfilling to see the fun they had working as a class for the slightly more complicated Select a City packet. Over time, I found the repetitiveness challenging, and I anticipated it would be even more boring for students. So rather than giving more of the same type of packets, I assigned 3 games on the same topic instead, and students still chose to complete only 2 of the 3 options. Additionally, my expectations had to shift when I had to accept that even seniors, at least in 2025, still needed very guided instruction and tracking to make sure they complete the work. 3 days to complete 2 days worth of work was still too much unstructured time. My final reflections are that choice is good. I'll continue to offer choices instead of everyone completing all the same work all the time. Doing a class-wide example and offering time to do the work together, I do, we do, you do, works great as a starting point for students to then branch out and choose their preferred activity next. I'll structure and monitor student time so they can complete the work with good productivity and avoided wasted time. And I'll standardize how to turn in the work so I only have to look at the ones they completed, and making my grading more efficient. Finally, I'll also utilize peer grading among those who completed the same assignment. They can find a partner and grade each other's work. Thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed it.